Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be building a winter log cabin. This house costs $128K. It uses 3 game passes, advanced placement, multiple floors, and large plots. The only reason it uses large plots is because of the forest, so if you don't add the forest, then you don't have to use large plots. If you guys are excited for this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications to get notified when I post. Enjoy the video! As you can see, I'm working on the walls. You also see me putting in a fridge here and a stove. It's just to get the feeling of like where the kitchen is gonna go. You're probably also wondering why I didn't just put the straight wall across and I split it up into the sections. That's because I want to color the walls different colors. Now I'm putting the roof on the house. I kind of knew my roofing style already because when I make houses, I already have like a design for them. So I knew I wanted that roof really tall. So at first I dragged it up to as tall as it went, but then I decided to lower it just a little bit. You can see here, when I'm putting the other roof on, I realized, oh, I want this roof to like go into that other roof. So now I have to redo this one. Then I had the other roof go too far, so I put down the other roof that I was trying to put with the other roof. Oh my god, that's so confusing. And then I did that one. When I said that one, I meant the first roof I was trying to do. I felt like this log cabin needed a porch, so where I put the slanted roof is for the porch. Here's like a little tip. If you're gonna make a porch, don't put like just a flat roof, that's just boring. You know, you want to put a slanted roof. I wanted to add like a step up to the porch, but I made the porch like kind of low, so I just used a relaxed side table. And also I wanted to add a chimney because I feel like that's very wintry. So when I looked and saw that this window that I was trying to put, like one of the biggest windows, was too small, I realized when I looked back at the design again, that little like thing that came out was only supposed to be 1 story. I don't know how to explain this, but like with the roof, it will only go a certain way if it's not like long enough the other way to go that way. But that like living room area or that area in the house was supposed to be 2 stories, but if there was a roof sticking through, that would just ruin the whole thing. So I ended up just putting a slanted roof over that little area. Now I'm starting to add in other windows. When I was putting on the front door, I wanted like a nice big front door, but there's not that many like nice big front doors, I guess. It took me a while to choose a front door. I went with the traditional front door, but I decided not to do traditional doors inside. But I did make the entryway area the same like level as the porch. I didn't yet do the full entryway, you'll see that later, but now I'm putting shutters on the house. I tried coloring them, but I just didn't know what colors to do, so I ended up coloring them later. When I put the material on the house, I was blown away that linen looks so dark there, so I kept it linen. At first I was thinking, oh well, maybe I'll change it to like brown if linen's not dark enough. Now I'm adding in the window that I put by the porch around the house a little bit more. I tried putting shutters on those like bigger windows, but I didn't think it looked good. So in the design that I was like referencing from, there's like a tree that looked exactly like this. As you can see, I decided to put tons of these giant trees around the house. I'm like, wait, I could make an entire forest around the house. So that's what I did. In one of Bloxburg's updates, they made it so you can't place like a single thing outside of your plot or like half of it outside of your plot, and that kind of annoys me. I'm just adding in more trees because it's a forest and forests are made mostly of trees. I didn't want to cover like all the trees in snow or make them all like green, so the pine trees are darker colors and I made like, I don't know, all the trees different colors, like some are white, some are sage green because that's like a light green. I tried to make the trees different colors because it looks a lot more natural that way. I added in some little like plants because forests aren't just trees and then nothing else. Now I'm doing like a path up to the doorway. I saw Pita Bread doing this with like using a carpet for the path, so I decided to try it out myself. I was looking for the spooky bushes and I didn't see them in gardening. I'm like, why aren't they here? I put like bushes along the pathway, but I put them like really close together. I'm like, wait, this is gonna be way too many bushes. So then I spaced them out and colored them. I decided to add some more trees like in front of the house instead of behind the house. Now I'm adding a light next to the door on the front porch. Now I'm starting to add the floor on the inside. Then I colored the floor linen. When I was putting the floor in like the main room, I was having a lot of trouble trying to get it to match up with the entryway flooring. This is where I realized that I want the entryway raised up, not just that little spot by the door. So then I tried putting the roof in, and since I already have like a roof on the house and I want the roof like to be up, I can barely see anything while I'm doing it. And once again, I got annoyed because it wasn't matching up like perfectly with the other floor in the main room, so I kept retrying. This is where I realized that this roof went into the main area. I was so sad. I'm like, oh no. So then I struggled trying to redo the roof. I even like deleted part of the house, brought it out some more. Just nothing was working. So I ended up using a slanted roof, and it doesn't look that bad, but I was really annoyed that I couldn't use the gable roof there. I tried bringing that part of the house out, but I'm like, this is too far out and it now doesn't look good, even though the roof works. So then I end up like pushing it back to its normal shape and just putting a slanted roof on it. Now that I'm looking at it, I almost think that looks better, because originally in like the design, I was like kind of looking at, there was like a window in the gable roof area, but that was just like a tons of empty space and it looked a little weird. But with the slanted roof going like all the way down to like the edge of the wall, there's no empty space there. I was gonna put the floor on the like second story, then I realized where the stairs gonna go, so then I started choosing the stairs. I chose spiral stairs because they fit best in that area. At first I put them like really close to the closet. Wow, I can't say anything today. But then later on, I moved them forward more. I also put in a railing because it's a loft and I don't want anybody to fall off. Later on, I changed the railing to the festive railing because that's festive for Christmas. I added in a pillar on top of like the stair thing because there's already like a pillar in between holding the stairs, I guess. And I thought it'd be cool if it just kept going. And I also thought it would look weird if it didn't keep going. Now I'm starting to work on the living room. At first, I put this really tiny Christmas tree in, or like, it's the regular size Christmas tree, but it looks really tiny in this house, so I decided to put the large Christmas tree, because this is a 2-story living room, so I do have enough room to do that. My friend was rude, and she knew I was filming, so she decided to kick me from her neighborhood. So I'm now starting up again, and I'm like, ooh, I should put a pillar like on the front porch. So my dad's like, you should make it like a log or something. But that didn't really look good, so I just went with a square pillar. I decided to put a wreath up here on the part of the roof that looks like a wall, or the roof wall. Sure, a roof wall. I decided to put a wreath there because that was empty and we can't put windows there, but we can now put like wreaths and other things there. Thinking about putting a giant bow, but that would have been too skinny. The roof is too skinny to fit a giant bow. As you can see, now I'm back rearranging the presents and now coloring them. I also colored the Christmas tree. People are always complaining like, Bloxburg needs more floor plants. Well, with the new winter update, you can actually place everything on the floor. It's really cool. So now we don't need new floor plants because all the plants can be placed on the floor. I went into comfort thinking I was gonna put a couch down. Then I realized I didn't put a Santa sleigh on the roof yet. And it's not a true Christmas house if Santa's not on the roof. So I decided to put him on the roof. I put him on the slanted roof because the other roofs are like too steep. I don't know what happened here. I guess I lost some footage, but all I really did was put a wall and then like a traditional doorway because that room's now gonna be an office. And I put down a carpet and that couch. As you can see, I'm also putting in kitchen counters. I knew I wanted to do the modern ones because when I was coloring them like the other day, I realized if we color them like mid-gray or something, they'll be like a little bit bluish. So that's what I ended up doing. I knew I wanted like an island, but I was trying to put one in, but there wasn't much room in the kitchen area, and it was taking me a while to like move the islands around. And then I'm like, wait, maybe I can make like a U-shaped kitchen, and that ended up working much better. I added some stools in too, and I colored them green. Then I added in a pantry cabinet above the fridge, and then just regular cabinets. It was taking me a while to figure out the cabinets because they weren't really cooperating, but it ended up fine. Then I added a sink and I was going to put it on the island, but then I just decided to put it next to the stove. I also added a microwave and a oven hood. Now you can see how I am redoing the island to make it a U-shaped kitchen. I was trying not to have the island come out and go past like where the second story like loft floor is because I don't know, I feel like the kitchen should be like under the loft. I also decided to make the chairs not perfectly straight and then have the chairs like turned a little bit. Now I'm moving the stairs forward just a little bit, and then I'm going to go upstairs, delete the floor, and redo it. I wanted to add a piano into the entryway, but the entryway is way too small for that, so then I decided to add it into the office area, and then the office area became like a music/office room. I never know what color to color a piano. When I was adding in like the carpet under the piano, I kept like moving it back and forth, deciding where I wanted the carpet and the piano to go. I added in a welcome mat. It annoys me when people put their welcome mats inside because they're already inside your house. You don't have to welcome them like 10 more times. It's like welcoming them to the door so they can leave. I knew that I wanted to add something on the porch. I ended up adding rocking chairs. I wish Bloxburg had more types of rocking chairs. At first I just put a hammock, but I make a back porch and later on I moved the hammock into the backyard. When I was putting in the desk, I wanted to use a different desk that I don't really normally use, so I went for the rustic desk. Normally when I color a carpet, I just color it, but now I use like these bricks and it looks like carpet. It makes the carpet have a really cool design. When I colored the carpet, I wanted it to be like green and red. It took me a while to find the way that I wanted the colors to work. When I was going to add a painting to the wall, I'm like, ooh, you should be able to paint your own painting. So I added an easel with the painting on it. Now I'm adding some plants next to the piano because that area seemed a little empty. I added a chair in front of the desk so you could sit down. I was trying to fit in like a dining table here, but nothing really worked. so you can just use the island to eat. Then I added a door out to the backyard. Now I'm changing my mailbox. I feel like most people forget to change their mailbox when they're building. When I colored my mailbox, I made it look like it was made out of wood to match the house. Now I'm adding some lighting onto the porch because it was a little dark. I really wanted to add in an elf on the shelf. At first I just put it on the fireplace, but later I moved it to a shelf. Now I'm adding some lighting inside. It took me a while to find this one light that I wanted. I still thought the living room felt very dark after I put the light above the Christmas tree, so I used a few of those garden lights to put under the Christmas tree to light it up some more. Then I added some windows to the back of the house. I was trying to make the windows look good inside, but I also didn't want the shutters overlapping. Then I decided to add a lamp next to the fireplace because that area was a little empty. I also added a coffee table in front of the couch. Now I'm adding some decorations into the kitchen. I always think a knife block looks really good in a kitchen. It's not a Christmas house without lights all over the roof. Oh, but you better make sure they're linen. I colored the windows white to match the other windows, and then I added a sled by the front porch so you could go sledding in the snow. Now I'm adding some little landscaping decorations. I don't know why I added flowers because I don't think flowers survive during the winter. I moved the snow pile next to the sleds. There's only one sled, so the sled. Now I'm adding some lights into the little office area and working on that just a little bit. I colored the desk, planks long, and linen because the other wood looked too rough. Now I'm adding in a bookshelf next to the fireplace and adding some books onto the bookshelf because it's a bookshelf. I also added some other little decorations onto the bookshelf. Now I'm trying to pick a color for the front door. I always struggle so much with this. Now I'm coloring the shutters because at the beginning I was going to color them, but I didn't know what colors to use, so I put that off and now I'm doing it. Now I'm coloring the stairs. I colored the ceiling of the house white instead of gray. Now I'm adding in some doors upstairs. The Santa sleigh was sticking through the wall of the house, so I decided to move it a little bit. Now I'm adding the doors in downstairs. Now I'm starting on the bathroom. I made this bathroom super detailed and worked hard on it, and I'm actually pretty proud of the results. I saw Simply Bubbly do this like sink hack, so I decided to incorporate it in my build too. This bathroom is a 4x2, so it's a little bit bigger than like my normal bathrooms, so that's why I added a lot more stuff and was motivated to do that. So like I added a plant next to that like sink hack to fill up the space, and I even added a plunger next to the toilet. I'm putting like a glass door into the shower/bath. I decided to color the shower gold. I added a door into the bedroom from the bathroom so you can access it from like the entryway and that bedroom. I was gonna put a painting above the sink, then I realized I should put a mirror there. I didn't want to just put the same mirror that I always do, so I chose a different mirror. I think Bloxburg needs more mirror options. I decided that I wanted a rug in the bathroom, so I put it in front of this shower/bath. As you can see, I was looking around and did not know what to do with the bathroom next. But then I decided to add a window into the bathroom. I also realized I didn't color the floor or the walls yet, so I colored the floor, but I always have trouble coloring the walls. Now I'm coloring that little relaxed side table that is under the sink because I just copy and pasted it and I never colored it. Now I'm starting on the first bedroom, which is a kid's bedroom. At first I was going to put a double bed, but there's this like other cool double bed that I'm surprised Bloxburg has and doesn't get much use. It's like a desk, a dresser, a bookshelf, and 2 beds in one. It's actually kind of cool. So I decided to put that in because that also fills up the space, and then I don't have to choose a desk to go along with that. I knew I wanted to put a couch next to the bookshelf, so I had to make like the bed thing off-centered, which might annoy some people, but I don't really notice it that much. Sometime when I was like adding decorations into the bedroom, I saw this snow globe and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to use the snow globe somewhere. I'm like, oh, I have to decorate this shelf. This is the perfect opportunity to use the snow globe. And so what I did is inside the snow globe, there's a house. So I made that house look the exact same as the log cabin. Not the sheep, but like the coloring. I also decided to add an elf on the shelf, and I knew I wanted it somewhere in the house, so I decided to also put it on that bookshelf. I wanted a poinsettia because that's one of the Christmas items, so I ended up putting it in the office, and I don't know, there's something about it that I just don't really like. I feel like it could be more detailed. I'm adding a wall here, and that's just because I want to like color that wall like tile for the kitchen. So if you add a wall there, add a wall where you want to separate a room or something, and then you go out of build mode and come back in, when you go to color the walls, they're like only that little section, if that makes sense. I did add like only one decoration into the kitchen when I was decorating the kitchen, so now I'm actually decorating the kitchen. And now I'm working on the backyard. The backyard doesn't have that much, let's just say it's minimalistic. I just like put a swing set, and like that's about it, because you don't really use a backyard too much in the winter, and I was getting a little lazy. So I added in like a porch, and I decided this was the perfect porch to like make a step. So add in another porch and then just like make the overhang come out some more, but then make it lower so it's like a step down all around. I was watching like one of Annex's videos, and when he does like his fence, he doesn't do just like a fence around the house like I normally do. What he does is just does like a little piece of fence. So that's what I decided to do. So I put it like by this tree here. Then I just started randomly placing a few plants on the snow, and they're uncolored and stuff, and that's kind of weird to place them there, but I'm gonna move them over to like the other side of the yard and add like just a little piece of fence around them, so it's like a little gardening thing. And I wanted a small pine tree, and the perfect thing for a small pine tree is just using a Christmas tree. So if you want smaller pine trees in your builds, you can just stock up on Christmas trees. I was like arranging all the stuff, and then I went to put the fencing in, and the fencing can only go on like the large grid, so then I had to like rearrange the stuff to like make it fit, because I didn't want the fencing to stick out too far, but then there's extra room. But I would want like 2 fences, or like an extra half square of fence to fit in all the plants perfectly, but I didn't have that, so I just had to like move them closer together. I found that over here there was literally just like a tree and then the pine tree next to it, so I decided to add in a little more landscaping by this piece of fence. Then I decided to add in this mini like light up Christmas tree. Now I've picked out a bigger version of that to stick into the kids' bedroom. But then I realized, ooh, I should get a bigger light up tree. So I got this other wire Christmas tree, like light up wire Christmas tree. And then I decided to put it into this corner, and then I'm like, oh wait, this wall's empty and I don't have a dresser, so I should put a dresser on this wall. Then I decided it's not a Christmas house without a snowman out front, so I put a snowman out front. Then I decided to put out some more Christmassy items, and I put out this blow-up penguin. When I came back inside to the house, I realized that this entryway that I made, or entry area, was very empty. So like under the stairs here, I thought that would be a great place to put a bench, so that's what I did. And then I remembered that Bloxburg adds a festive railing at the holiday time, so I switched out those glass modern railings I did for the festive railing. And now I'm adding wall trims onto the house, because wall trims always make a house much better. There's not really much to talk about while I'm putting in wall trims. Now I'm adding in a carpet underneath the stairs. Currently I've done nothing to this downstairs closet, so I'm adding in a door. That's like the bare minimum, a door into the closet. Now I'm adding in some shoes onto this shoe rack in the entryway. And now I'm also coloring them different patterns and colors. I always take a while to choose the patterns and colors for the shoes. And I try to make them like different colors and different patterns. Now I'm adding in some paintings around the house. I also colored the ketchup and mustard bottles to make them more aesthetic. Now I'm working on coloring the appliances. I always find this hard, and it takes me a while to find the colors for them, and I always think I've done better before. Because I remember when I was working with my friend on her house, I found the perfect colors, but I don't know what those perfect colors are, and I'm still trying to refine them. I could just go back to her plot and see what it is, but you know, that's so much work, totally. I was trying to find spots to put pillars, but I could barely find any corners to put them on. I added in a photo by the little get ready area in the entryway. I don't exactly remember where I saw this hack, but it's where you put a towel down, like a hand towel, and then you put the like hanging rack thingy over top, and it looks like something's hanging on that rack, the coat rack. Now I'm back to work on this desk a little bit more because I barely put anything on it so far. I find these shelves on this desk hard to fill because they don't give you much room to put tall things on them, so I have to find short decorations that look good to put on the shelves. I decided to put another one of those like wire light Christmas trees in the office/music room. I also put a mirror in there, so like when you're about to get on your Zoom class, you can make sure you look good. Then I put some lighting in the bathroom because I noticed it was dark in there. And then I'm like, oh, I should put lighting in the entire house. Then I put a teddy bear on the desk because I feel like that desk kind of acts like a nice nightstand to that bottom bed. Then I decided to add a large teddy bear in the corner along with an octopus. I was looking for more decorations for that shelf and I'm like, ooh, I could put like a little bow somewhere. And I decided to put it like over top of the first bed but underneath the second bed. Then I also realized that room didn't have many windows, so I put another one in. I realized those windows were a little high inside, so I moved them down just a little bit and they still look good from the outside. Now I'm starting to decorate the dresser because right now it has nothing on top of that. I put a little plant on it and some books along with the picture frame. And now I'm finally back to decorating the shelf. I decided to put a present on the shelf. I don't know if that's that normal because like I guess if you wrapped a present and you're gonna put it under the tree later or you're gonna give it to someone, maybe it's like a secret Santa thing you're doing with your friends, so you don't want to put it under your Christmas tree. Now I'm finally decorating the entryway closet. I just put in some clothing racks, like almost every single one of my closets, and then I put some shelves and a few items on the shelves. It's kind of hard to fill these shelves because they're so skinny, so you have to find things that are also skinny. Now I'm just putting a few finishing touches on the bathroom, even though the walls aren't colored yet. I added a remote onto the coffee table so you can turn the TV on. Then I saw this clock and I'm like, ooh, this is cool, I should add it in. So I added it in to the office. I decided to move the hammock to the back porch because there was like nothing there, and then I just put some rocking chairs on the front porch. Now I'm starting to work on the upstairs area. I knew I wanted it to be like a lounge area, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted on it, besides like a couch and chairs. I decided to move the piano up there, and I think that's kind of like a good idea because now when someone's playing the piano, the sound will go all throughout the house, not just like kind of in that one room. And then I replaced that with a chair in the office, so now it's more of an office instead of a office/music room. And I think that makes more sense. Now I'm adding in like some couches. I also added a table next to the couch. And now I'm adding a carpet upstairs. I didn't think that a second couch would look good, so I just put a chair. I think this fireplace makes like a house really cozy, and I wanted to add it in somewhere. I decided to add it into the office to make that space a little more cozy. But then I had to move the things that were there around a little bit. Now I'm starting on the master bedroom with an ensuite bathroom. Obviously in this bedroom there is a bed. It's a double bed plus some nightstands and also a desk. To fill up the walls I put big paintings. Now I'm coloring the bed and nightstands. I always find it hard to choose like a texture for the bed. I wish they would add more textures for that sort of thing. I added a plant in the upstairs loft area to fill up the space. And then I added it into the bedroom to fill up the space between the nightstands and the wall. I really like this lamp that they added, so I use it in almost every single one of my builds. I felt this wall had like nothing on it, so I added some paintings. Now I'm starting to work on the master bedroom's back room. I'm basically just copying all the stuff from downstairs and putting it upstairs, but I do change like a few of the colors and stuff. Now I'm coloring the snowman's scarf. You can literally color the snow on the snowman. I added a second rocking chair onto the porch because it was a little empty. Now I'm adding in like an empty painting easel up on this loft area, so if you wanted, you could paint. Now I'm finishing adding the Christmas lights all around the house because I just put them on that porch area. I think it looks really good at night. I added a little Christmas tree on the nightstand next to the bed to add a little bit more of a Christmas touch. I added in some string lights above the bed in between the two windows. Now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put in this area. I decided to put a desk in. This is more like a vanity than a desk. So I put some makeup on the desk / vanity and some perfume. I just put a few items down and now I'm arranging them to fit on the desk. I decided to put a mirror above the vanity since it's a vanity and that's a place where you do makeup, and I think it would be a little helpful if you could see yourself while you were doing your makeup. Then I added a stool so you could sit down. I also decided to add a little nutcracker. I added 2 more layers of string lights. I decided to add some of these things, I forget what they're called, at the end of the bed, so it's like kind of like a bench, like a comfy bench though. Now I'm adding in a few more lights and coloring these books. Now I'm adding in some large paintings on this wall. Also a rug under the desk. I'm adding in a few more decorations to this like loft area. Now I'm finally coloring the walls. I always have such a hard time picking a wall color, so I always do it last. Here is the finished product of the house, or also known as the tour. At the end, my friends started attacking me because they wanted cookies. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and click on the post notification bell and turn it to all so you get notified every time I upload. Ah, they want my cookies! Bye!